My name is Mazi and I'm an alcoholic. First, thank God I'm here, you know. Thank God I'm in a room with Alcoholic Anonymous. Yeah. And that's just seriously, you know. First, thank Patch for asking me to share. Thanks for all of you being here. And, you know, sometimes I think since I got here, you know, it's like, when did all these things started? You know, when did I become alcoholic or addict? Because, you know, I came here because I had a coke problem. I didn't come here because I was drinking a lot of beer, you know. So, when did this happen? I always ask myself, is this, I was always alcoholic, you know, since I was a little kid, or addict, you know, because I didn't do any lines when I was 6, 7 years old, so how did that happen, you know? And you know, the question is, I mean, the answer to that, I don't know. You know, I don't know. I remember my thinking was a little different. And so eventually when I got here, you know, I heard your story and it kind of matched my story, you know, like I was thinking the way you were thinking, or you were thinking the way I was thinking, you know. There was a lot of similarity. And I had no idea, you see, I had no one to kind of compare it with back then. So in one point in my life, I drank, you know. Again, I drank like, I thought like everybody else, and I thought I was drinking a little bit different. And I didn't know it was any different until I got here. And then you showed me and you told me your story, and then I noticed I was drinking like different than other people, you know. Why can't I stop? Why everybody else is stopping and I can't stop? I mean, what's the purpose to keep going? I'm throwing up. What is it? Why do I have to keep drinking, you know? And why do I have to keep moving and going to another party and another party, you know? There's got to be a stop at one point. So, you know, sometimes when I was like in my 20s, you know, I don't think drinking was doing that much for me. So, you know, I mess around with drugs and a lot of party drugs, and you know, and I didn't do it because I decided I want to be a drug addict. I did it because it was a lot of fun. Everybody else were doing it, you were doing it, we all going to the clubs, having great times. There was girls involved, music involved, it was great. I mean, like, why not, you know? If you would not do it, like, why not, you know? So, I mean, it was not, you know, and I would stop anytime, not anytime, but I would stop at the time I want to, you know, but I didn't want to stop, so I don't remember if I ever stopped. So that's the story. Until one day I decided to stop, and I can't. I really want to stop, but I couldn't, you know. I remember the first time I was going to snore something in my nose. I had this girl I was going out with, and she was stopping. She said, "No, I'm not going to let you do that. This is evil." And I said, "What the fuck you talking about?" I mean, fucking yeah, you know. So is that the problem? Is the money or what is it? She said, "No, Mazi, this is too much." Anyway, long story, you know how we are. So I got that, and you know, I can tell you that day when I snored that thing, something changed, you know. Something changed, I arrived. The book talks about that. You know, if something changed, I think something I was looking for all my life was here. And I never stopped after that. So, you know, throughout the years, you know, things got really bad, you know, and I'm young and I'm looking like 60, I'm like 20 something, looking like 60, terrible. So, I mean, you know, I always found myself a very strong individual, you know. Yeah. So I say, I gotta stop, I gotta change. Well, the only thing I thought about, I thought the problem was the people I was hanging out with. So, you know, Hollywood crowd and the kind of crowd I hang out with, so I thought that was the problem. So I changed that crowd and I stopped going to those places. I changed my careers. And so I stopped using for some time, you know, and so, and I got this job, and that job turned out to become more than a job, turned to a business. And so, honestly, I never had money problems. So, it was like somehow something happened. Always I made money. I turned it into a business, and so I just had drug problem and alcohol problem, you know. So at this point, and I stopped for maybe a short time, maybe a year, you know. I can't be so specific. My head tells me it was 1.5 years. My stories tell me it was 3 months, you know. So I don't know, but the more of the story, I stopped for some time so I could get back and do what I was supposed to do. And so the business, it was good. And you know, at one point, I think I realized I really need these, you know, and I said, I'm going to do everything I can to keep the drug and alcohol going, and I'm just going to work around it and have a life around these. So I did, you know. I got married, I had kids, and man, things, so all I can do is put a fence in the front so you can't see me in the back. So from the front, I look good. I have jobs, I have business, I have a house, I'm married. We go to AYSO, and kids are running around. I can't go to any of those games. It's just impossible, you know. I missed a lot of those, you know. So sometime in 2010, August 2010 was the last day. I had a birthday last week, so August 18 was the last day I drank and used, and that's my birthday 11 years ago. So I came here, and you know, I was going to change, and I mean, I didn't know what to expect. You know, I never been to a meeting. I heard about Alcoholics Anonymous. I heard about Alcoholics Anonymous. I didn't know about, you know, other Anonymous, but I went to Alcoholics Anonymous, and I didn't go there I didn't know why I went there. I just went there because I was told to go there. I was just trying to get back in my house so I can see my kids. I can be around my kids because I love my kids. So that's how it started, you know. So I went there, and you know, new meetings, and people, and just people talking, and I'm there, and it's just, I don't know what happened. The first few days was all a blur, and there are few stuff happened in the meeting which has allowed me to come back. You know, I felt like God was like helping me to come back, and I heard your story, and I love the fact you did care about me and want me to come back, you know. And every time you talk to me outside of the meeting, give me a hug and tell me I'm a good guy, and because I didn't think I'm a good guy, you know, because I've done a lot of bad stuff which is like did not make me a good guy to my own eyes. So you tell me I'm a good guy, you know, and whatever happened, whatever I did, that was not me, that was the drug. So that was the alcohol. So I came back, and you know, later on, he gave me commitments to do chip, you know, do this, do that, and do the cake, be the greeter, and later on, I keep talking about clubs and nightclubs. Everyone says, "Oh my God, we gotta put you in to do events for us," and I do events, and next thing I'm at H&I sharing my story. I haven't had a sponsor yet, so just sharing my stories and moving on. And it felt good until it was not enough, you know. So they told me I have to get a sponsor. I got a sponsor. It was really hard, and thank God the person who became my sponsor was perfect for me at that time. You know, we worked the steps, and the way we worked the steps, we just went through, and things got better. I had sponsee, and you know, something in the book, it tells you, you have to do the triangle. It's recovery, unity, and service, you know. And somehow halfway through that, service and unity become my favorite, and recovery was out the door, you know. My sponsor didn't want to really have anything to do with me. He was busy, he had a lot of things going on. I don't think it was some stuff in fourth step was not completely done, and we want to go back and revisit. We never did. There was a lot of amends was not taking place, and they're all my fault. They're all things, and things I didn't try. I was actually liked it that way because I didn't have to get into the meat and potatoes of it, you know. So So I start, well, I'm still going to meeting, I'm doing a lot of recovery, I'm doing a lot of service. So I'm in a lot of meetings, and I'm in a lot of unity and convention and so things. We're going to coffee and all these places. A lot of parties outside of the meeting, but no recovery. I start building resentments on everything and anything you can think of. Because I'm also involved outside of this room, inside of these rooms. I'm a fucking service junkie. So I have resentment on every service level from the top to the bottom. I do sports with my kids. I hate the umpires, to the coach, to the parents, to everyone. So it's all of a sudden, I have so much resentment, it's just too much. And I had a client, it happened to be one of us, he was sick the way I was, and he pushed my button that one day and picked up the phone and did something and pushed my button, and I allowed that to affect me even more. So this is a perfect storm. I have only two sides of a triangle. So I can go head down first. I have resentment, which is so heavy, and also I have a guy just pushed my button. I'm about to explode. And this moment, I'm going to see my son play baseball. So I go there, he's not there. Another big resentment because they put him in a lower level playing baseball. So as I'm watching, you guys know the story. As I'm watching the game, so he get hit. And everybody run into the field. So I have no recovery, I have no stop, I have no break, I have nothing. So I ran into the field, and I don't think I hit the coach, but everybody else did. I don't think I hit him, I swear to God I didn't. But anybody else did. Hey, everybody else did. So I go to jail. You guys all know the story. I went to jail. I go to jail, and it's 45 minutes. I was there only 45 minutes, and I'm just saying, whose fault is it? And that's all I'm thinking in my head. And fucking this room's so small. I'm sober. What the fuck, So, and they let me out. I was outside waiting for my wife to pick me up, and as I was outside, I knew exactly what to do. I knew exactly what I need to do. I've been waiting to get a sponsor for a long time. That sponsor, a long time ago, his action showed me, I have nothing to do with you. I knew that. But I didn't do anything about it. And that Friday was a very bad Friday, and the next day I went to this book study, which I usually go, and my friend runs that. So one thing I want to tell you, if you're in these meetings or any meetings, there are some people watch you from beginning when you come in until they always watch you. I'm one of those people, I watch people. And thank God I had someone who was watching me. And this guy saved me one time before, and I went there, and after the meeting, he said, how you doing? So, you know what we do when they say, how you doing? I just pour it out, and he said, do you need help? I said, no. He said, Wednesday. So it was my men's day. I said, no problem, Wednesday, that's fine. I said, don't be late this time, no problem. So I started everything from scratch, man. So, I learned the worst thing happened to me in this program always happened to be the best thing happened to me. Since the day him and I, we've been working, there are a lot of things changed. My attitude changed, my behavior changed, my resentment changed. I've been sober for 11 years. For 10 years, we have not been friends with my brother's family. Do you know how fucked up is that? It's their fault. It's her fault. But I'm the fucking recovered one. What the fuck is wrong with you? So we made, during this COVID, we made friends, and my life has been much better just, coming around. My time is up, but I just want to leave you with this. I don't know exactly what happened in that day, and I don't dig into it, what happened that day. All I know, I have a God that watches for me when I don't know. And I know if I keep doing the right thing and put one foot in front of the other, God is doing things I cannot do for myself. And I believe I was praying all this time, shit was hitting the fan, and I think He answered my prayer because I was so far out. The only way to bring my ass back in, that was it. And be it, I take that. It costs a lot of money, a lot of embarrassment. But let me tell you, the life I have right now, I would not change it for anything. And I have it all for that mistake I made that day. All right, thank you.